All right. First, thank you all for being here. A little different setting than we had a week ago. And so I want to start off I want to thank our fans. We had a great crowd at the Man Trip and a lot of energy. Beautiful day. That helps too. And then I thought our fans turned out today for a non-conference game, especially after we didn't perform very well a week ago. And so really happy for them to stay behind our team, and it was a good atmosphere, and it was loud in the first half, and a lot of them stayed, and I hope they enjoyed the light show there in the second half. It's always good to win. It's hard to do, and my man Tony Caridi told me yesterday or 2 days ago that less than 3% of the year are game days, and that kind of resonated with me, and so I trumped him. I said 1.9% of them are home games. And so when we get those opportunities, we need to enjoy them, and winning's hard. And I was proud of our guys for bouncing back. And Albany's got a good FCS football team, and they did some nice things. They minimized possessions. They held the ball. They did a nice job, and they're well coached, and the kids play really, really hard. And I thought they showed well on a bigger stage today, and they're going to win their share of games and be very competitive in the CAA. I'll start defensively. I thought our rush defense was really good. Our end of possession downs were good. We got off the field on fourth down, which was a positive. I thought Ben Cutter and Anthony Wilson were really active in the game. We didn't get any takeaways. We had our hands, Trot and Rod both had opportunities to get picks. And we got to play the ball down the field better. I think that's evident. Offensively, we really had 3 bad plays in the game, and the rest of them we kind of showed beginnings of what we're capable of being, which is a team that's balanced, that can run and can throw it. We got multiple weapons. Garrett had a ball slip out of his hand and then made a poor pass on one possession there where we punted. And then Jaheim learned a hard lesson, man. You got to hold the ball the right way, and he had it out the whole run, and it was an explosive run, but they got it out. And so really 3 bad plays, but we were 5 for 5 in the red zone, and that was a huge flip from what we did a week ago. We had 200-yard rushers. I thought we threw and caught the ball quite a bit better than we did a week ago. And so, and then on special teams, did a nice job. We were able to play a lot of people on special teams. Played more on defense than probably offense just because of how the game went. I wanted to get more guys in. It was a fast game, which I know nobody in here is complaining about, but I'd have liked to play a few more people. So, but all in all, good win, and we're going to enjoy it, and then we'll get ready for the brawl. So, questions? Great.
Neal, start with the offense, specifically the offensive line. Seemed like they had their way pretty well. Your field view, how do you think the front played?
Yeah, better. In a week ago, the numbers are a little deceiving because we had all those negative plays, but we really only had 2 negative rushing plays. And so I thought we were pretty clean. They tried to slant and kind of junk up the middle, but I thought we sorted it out pretty well. The only blitz we missed was a running back. That's the only time they got pressure on Garrett. And so a good day. And our expectations are high for those guys. We've got guys up there that played a lot of football, and we need them to continue to play at a high level and continue to get better.
Had 7 different people find the end zone. How big is that for confidence with your playmakers?
Well, it's good. I mean, I don't really care who scores. I'm more into just the scoring piece of it. But it's good for team morale. In these games, you want to get guys touches, and I thought we did a good job distributing the ball. The fact that we had 7 different score touchdowns is a positive, just because it rewards people. It rewards guys for working, and so I was really proud of Nico. I thought he had a nice drive there. I wanted to get him 2 or 3 more, but again, it was just kind of an odd game. It was really fast. We had fewer possessions than we normally do. We only ran 58 plays, and so. But I was proud of him because I thought he was really efficient in how he navigated. He had a really tough read on his touchdown run, and he made the right decision.
After a kind of a rough outing against Penn State, how would you evaluate the wide receivers beyond just the numbers, getting separation, getting open?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't kind of rough. Like, the whole team was rough. Like, you're right, Mike. It's fair. The whole thing was rough. Not just the wideouts, really every phase of it except special teams. Though we got good players at wideout, and we won last week against man coverage. We didn't throw it as well, and we made some drops. but we won. Like, if you go back and watch the film, like, our wideouts won the whole time. So when I'm watching it, when I'm frustrated with how they played, it's really more I was frustrated they didn't run guys off when it was man coverage in the run game, because we'd had 3 or 4 more explosive runs and they know what to do. And then we had some drops and some 50-50 balls we didn't make in that game. That's where the frustration. But we won versus man. We won versus man today. We have the ability to win versus man against everybody we play. Now, we're going to get tested next week. Watch Pitt a little bit, but I know Narduzzi, and they're going to line up and they're going to challenge our receivers, because that's what they do. So we got to continue to get better. But I was proud. I thought Jaden Bray made a really good contested catch there in the third quarter, and I thought the guys did a nice job.
Defensively, on those downfield balls, does it seem like maybe some of the guys were trying to give up the home run ball, or what did you see on some of that?
Well, I don't think they were trying to. Now, we did, but I think we got to do a better job playing the ball in the air. Like, we had the PI call, and we were in coverage, but we didn't look back, so it's the right call. And then we had 2 other times where we didn't make the play down the field, really because we didn't have eyes back. We got to do a better job of just playing the ball in the air, and that's something we can continue to work in practice. And here's the deal: number 7's a good player. He's a really good player, and he made 2 really. I mean, he started at Oregon, and they're not in the business of signing bad players, and he can play. He can play. He was really good last week in their first game, and he made a bunch of plays today, and he's a good player. And he made 2 really highly contested plays. One of them was on a bender in the second quarter, and the other one was the first play of the third quarter, first play of the second half. Those were big-time plays.
Disappointed you give up 3, third and 15 plus?
Yeah. That's an obvious yes, right? And we went into the game. We wanted to play more man coverage, and we did. And that's what we were in on 2 of those. And so we got to mix it up. You kind of pick and choose what you're going to do in these games. And sometimes you need a tendency break. Sometimes you need to trial and error, which you can do. And so we learned some things we can do. We learned some things we can't do.
You weren't very happy with Garrett's reads last week. Your thoughts on his reads better today?
Yeah, he just did a better job of being in control. He just got real almost too high. He's excitable. I think you'll see that, and you got to be real careful because he does have high energy, and so I don't ever want to put out that flame, but at the same time, he can't get overly high. He's got to continue to play within himself, and I thought he did a better job of that. And we did a better job of really talking about that as a week. Whether it's our sports psychologist, our staff, and he did a better understanding. Listen, he is great. He handles the truth, the hard truth, and he didn't play as well as he's capable of playing last week, and he took that. And just like the whole team, like, you got to own it, you got to learn from it, you got to grow. And we did that this week, and we got to continue to do that.
Coach, comments on any concerns still on the secondary?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we didn't. I think I said that in the opening. We didn't play the downfield pass as well as we need to. And they had 300 yards passing. And I think I said this last week too. Sometimes the stat sheet doesn't tell the story, but sometimes it does. And like 300 yards passing is, and we got to get better. I didn't think we played real fast back there, and so we got to figure out why that is. We didn't play real fast. Now, we did a much better job getting aligned, and we did a much better job of handling their formations. But we didn't play the ball in the air very well, and we just didn't. I didn't think we played real fast.
Coming off the goal line, that's something you guys rehearse a bunch, right? But then you get in the open field, and I don't know, look like you try to play with tempo and just do different stuff. How do you balance out like the stuff you're good at to get out of there, and then to get to the stuff that is different but still effective?
Yeah. So that was the first time. I think it was first. Well, I know it is because I was asking Monty. That's the first time we went 99 since TCU here during COVID in 20. Yeah, so what you do is you have a plan for what you're going to do getting off, and we practice that twice during the week, and we usually stick pretty close to that. And then really once we get off where you're not going to get a holding call in the end zone or you're not going to have potential grounding, or you can get a safety. So that's usually around the 6-yard line. We just play it normal and just go, and that's kind of how we did it tonight too.
Probably a simple question here, but that right after the goal line stand, maybe not what you
Yeah.
wanted to see, but you needed that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we did. I don't necessarily think the game was in question, but that was a huge flip of it. You know, like that stop, and then us going ahead and scoring put the game out of reach. And so now probably the ball should have never gotten down there, because 2 of those third downs we just talked about were on that drive. And so, but it was a great goal line stop. I thought we were really good on 4th downs today on both sides. And so, you know, talking about stats, that's one of the stats that they should have is an end of possession stat, not necessarily 3rd and 4th downs, because you look at it, you're like 1 of 6 on 3rd downs, but we really only didn't make 1, you know. And so it's a little misleading sometimes. But I thought our end of possession downs on both offense and defense were positives today.
Neal, what do you think about that second defensive line rotation? Just your evaluation, and T.J. Jackson, is he a guy that could move around potentially position-wise?
Yeah, T.J. Jackson's really active, man, and I think he's been a positive pickup. He works every day. Really proud of him. He's been active both games. He was one of the high points against Penn State. He just didn't finish on the quarterback, but he really moves. He's our best move guy we've had since Darius, and so he's a really good player. And we got those guys. Sonny Redwood's coming on. You know, I thought he did some nice things following up a really successful bowl game. He did some nice things against Penn State. It's hard to tell O-line, D-line until you watch the film, but those guys, we have a lot of confidence in them.
Miles Burkett seemed like he had a lot of arm talent. Just what did you see from their quarterback?
Yeah, he did a nice job. Played a lot better than he did in week 1. And he's a kid that was a power forward transfer. He came in from Wisconsin. I thought he was tough. That's probably the best compliment I could give him. I thought he was tough. He took some hits and did it. Their center was a little off on his snaps. He had to handle some of those and still threw the ball. And I thought some of his seam balls were good, were really big-time throws.
Any news on Eddie Vestrin?
Yeah, I think we got an MRI. They got it back, so he'll probably be out a few weeks. We'll kind of determine how long. I'll know better on Monday.
CJ and Jaheim both hit the 100-yard mark rushing. Would you say that was more on the running backs being hot or the O-line doing their jobs, or both?
Yeah, I think both. Yeah, both. I think in the run game, it's always it's really the team effort, the schematic piece of it, and then the athlete carrying the ball, right? And so the team effort of it is it's offensive line, tight end, and receivers, you know, because most of the schemes that we're doing tie in the receivers a lot of times at the point of attack. Then there's schematic, you know, putting them in a schematic advantage, which is what you try to do in the run game. And the third thing is the athlete, right? And so both those guys are high-end players, but I think it was a compilation of all three tonight.
Albany only had 29 yards on the first 3 series. Anything you can pinpoint as to why the defense has been better early in these first 2 games?
No, I think that's not unique just to our defense, because a lot of times offenses just take a little while to get into a rhythm a little bit. And so I thought we came out and played really fast early. And then here's the other thing, too, is they started taking shots down the field, and that's where they had success.
You know, the first 3 or 4 kickoffs all went into the corner. Is that
Well, we're trying to kick it there. We're not trying to kick it out of bounds, but we do want to there's an advantage to kicking it in the corner. We really aim for the numbers. Is kind of if we could take the ball and place it down there, it'd be in the numbers. But he didn't. I think he was trying to overplay the wind. I don't know if y'all could tell in the press box, but the wind was kind of circling a little bit. So when you're kicking toward the hospital, I think he overplayed it and kicked it out of bounds. But we are trying to pin them down there. That way we can get our coverage lanes down into that corner.
that strategy just it takes away half the
Yeah, it takes away half the field, yeah. And we run really well in that unit. We've gotten a lot better.
You pleased with your punt team the first two weeks? I mean,
Yeah, I wish we didn't punt today, you know. And so, but, yeah, Ollie's playing well. You know, his family's in from Australia, and he's performing well for those guys. So I'm proud of him. And then we do a good job with our coverage, too. Like, our gunners, like, those are kind of the hidden guys behind that.
newcomers at linebacker. Last week it was Josiah Trotter. This week it seems like Reed Carrico was all over the place. How do you feel that? How do they contribute to this team?
Yeah, this is the best group we've had. We got more depth there. I thought Ben Cutter, I said that in the open, I thought he was really good tonight. And Reed Carrico made some plays on kickoff and on defense, so he's been a positive addition too. But yeah, that's the deepest group that we've had.
Did Jordan get taken out on the sideline?
He did. Yeah, so, well, he might have no more on Monday too, but like he did, and credit to him and our credit to our medical staff, because he really got hit hard on the sideline and really concerned. He went about a series, maybe more, where he didn't call the defense. Shadon called it, and but he got hit. Yeah, he got hit extremely hard.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yep, thanks.